Namaste and very good evening to all. I'm Meena and I will be moderating today's session called Women's Right in Labor Law. I will take a minute to introduce myself briefly before I take to you in this. Namaste and very good evening to all. I'm Meena and I will be going to moderate today's session called Women's Right in Labor Law. I will take a minute to briefly introduce myself before I take you all to a wonderful session today. I'm an IPM alumni, HR professional, and SHRM certified post trainer. Currently working with Uniparts Group in the capacity of Unit Head HR and Administration. I'm an active council member of Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry of UPHR. Well, that's enough about me. Let's get started. On behalf of Wiki, I welcome you all to our stream. Wiki is continuing with its objective to be true partner for every woman in the state by empowering women entrepreneurs and professionals, unleashing their talent, owning their potentials. A part of that, liaising with the government bodies and corporates to provide employability and financial independence, making them financial independence. Our motto is to inspire to aspire. So today's session is going to be very special due to two reasons. First, because it is a very first day of Navratra, which is dedicated to Shakti as a symbol of women empowerment. And secondly, the Ministry of Labor and Employment has declared to celebrate the Women Empowerment Week, which has started from today itself. In the continuation of this series, today we are going to have Mr. Raju Gupta, speaker of today. Let's welcome Mr. Raju. Good evening, sir, and welcome to this show.
गुड इवनिंग मीना जी, सबको मेरा नमस्कार.
Good evening, sir. Sir, am I audible to you?
It's fluctuating, not clear.
Am I audible to you, sir, now?
I'm not getting anything from your side.
I'm sorry, we are facing some technical glitches. Hello?
Now the voice come.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm sorry. I'm facing some technical glitches. So I was just introducing to Mr. Raju Gupta. Mr. Gupta is a very renowned lawyer and consultant. Currently, at the top of his field, he has been pursuing his career as a lawyer and consultant since the last 13 years. He has an expertise in dealing with the labor disputes in the labor courts and tribunals. Mr. Gupta has also appeared in high courts of states like Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, and for same matters. He is graduated with BSc honors and then earned his law degree from Delhi University and started his journey in the field of labor law under the guidance of his father. So let's welcome sir. And keeping his work aside for a second, he's a man of humble nature. Mr. Gupta grew with the inspirational personality that he is today, making his father proud as a son and a student. We welcome him as our special guest of the evening. Good evening, sir. Sir, I would request you to first take us through your professional journey and whatever it holds for you.
Well, I started my journey in the profession in the year 1987. Though I got registration in 1987, but I used to appear in the courts during the when I was studying my law with my father. So I can say that I have an experience of a court for 36 years, though officially it is 33 years. Initially, I started with matrimonial laws under the guidance of one Mr. C.L. Joseph. He was a renewed matrimonial advocate, and I did matrimonial cases up to 6 to 7 years. Unfortunately, in 95, my father expired, then I have to switch over to labor laws. From that day, I am now doing labor laws practice only for management from the last 33 years.
Okay, sir, there was a time when we used to live in a male dominated society, and women empowerment is
Yeah,
now trending as awareness everywhere. So it means creating an environment where there is no violence or gender discrimination and where women have equal rights in the community, society, and workplace. So it's essential for a woman to feel safe about the workplace she is working on. For the safety of a woman, there are several laws are in place, and every the working women a company which needs to know. And women's safety in India is a big concern, which has been most important topic regarding the women's safety. Generally, mm, we denies that fact that a majority of women do not feel safe alone on the street, at work, in the market, or at home, or anywhere. Women should know labor laws in place that protects them at the workforce for being harassed or discriminated. Sir, uh, what are the laws, labor laws, which have been meant to provide the social security to the working women?
for providing social security to working women, the government has enacted three laws, mainly called POSH Act, second is Maternity Act, and third is Equal Remuneration Act. Basically, these are the three acts which deals with the women rights and their equality to do work along with the men. These acts provide how a woman employee can work while with dignity in the employment and go ahead.
Okay. So, sir, let's start with the POSH Act.
Okay.
So,
This act,
we will start from,
sorry.
yeah, please continue, sir.
This act came into existence in the year 2013. And basically, the purpose of this act was to protect the women employees from unwanted situations and for unwanted favor the men employers and colleagues they used to try to extract from them.
Okay. And, sir, if we go to the
The basic purpose of
definition,
this act is to know that women employers,
okay. And,
pardon,
sir, as per the Act, what is the meaning of employee and employer?
yeah.
And what is the obligation of employer towards the compliance of this Act?
As far as employee definition is concerned, a woman for this project only, a woman employee is can be a employee working as a permanent nature, casual, or through contract or any mean who is earning for wages and getting remuneration from the management is considered to be a employee. And
Okay.
employer is the person, it can be the management or the owner,
Okay.
head of the department, head of the establishment, head of the factory. For this purpose, all these people are considered to be an employer.
Okay.
Basic purpose and the obligation of the management is to protect the women employees, to enlighten them to guide them
To,
what are their rights while working with the management in the factory or in the establishment. The management has a duty to constitute a internal complaint committee which look after the complaints of the women employees. If they have any problem, they can file their complaint to the committee. And if there is no committee or the number of employees less than 10, then the district magistrate has the power to constitute a local complaint committee headed by a district officer appointed by the district magistrate. There, the women employees can file their complaint. So, the management has a right to look after the working of the ICC or internal committee, their working, and to implement the recommendations of the committee, to implement the order of the internal committee to assist the woman worker in getting justice if the committee comes to the conclusion that the respondent is guilty of the offense, it has been established, then it is the duty of the management to assist the woman worker to get the FIR lodged and to assist in every sense so that the woman employee can get justice from the court.
sir, is there any time limit? I mean, within time duration, complaint can be filed by the grieved?
Uh, the woman worker can file a complaint within 3 months from the date of missing
Okay.
time. But the internal committee has a power to condone the delay if there are some exceptional circumstances. They have to give in it in writing that what are the circumstances and why they are condoning the delay. Thereafter, they will proceed as normal.
Okay. And sir, what is the power of IC and local committee? And when can the IC or LC forward a complaint to the police? In which situation, sir, and which scenario?
The power of internal complaint committee as well as that of local complaint committee are almost similar. The only difference is the internal complaint committee is being constituted by the employer, whereas the number of employees is less than 10, then the district magistrate has power to constitute the local internal committee. When the local internal committee, or you can say internal complaint committee, come to the conclusion that there is a prima facie case against the respondent, and they find the case has been established against the respondent, then they recommend the management to file a complaint through the woman employee to the police station under section 509.
So, sir, suppose if there is a
Similarly,
woman,
in case
she's
the local,
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. Here, I have one question to you. Suppose if there is a woman worker and she is not competent enough to file a case in writing, So, is there any provision and anybody
yeah,
can on behalf of her can lodge the complaint? Because as per the POSH Act, written complaint is
in case the
should be
woman
must.
written complaint is mandatory.
Yeah.
As per
So,
the law, if a woman has to file a complaint against a person, she has to give it in writing. If by some
okay.
means she is not able to write it, she can take the help of his husband, his in-laws, his children's, or sometimes she can also take the help of a senior executive member of the management. Or there are at times there are certain employees, women employees, who are looking after the legal matters. They can also assist him. assist her to file the complaint. In case the woman is not in a position to file a complaint in her personal capacity, then her legal heir, her husband, her children can file a complaint before the internal committee on her behalf.
Okay. Okay. And sir, can the IC or LC recommend any compensation payment of an amount to the aggrieved woman? If yes, so who will
No,
pay and what
no, no,
basis
no,
and
no.
how much? No.
ICC or LCC has no power to recommend compensation. The compensation is only recommended by the court. If a case is registered under Section 509 and court come to the conclusion that yes, the accused is responsible for the crime, then the court will direct the employer to pay compensation from the salary of the respondent or accused person. The compensation depends upon two, three factors. One is the financial loss which she has suffered due to this harassment. Secondly, it depends upon the status of the respondent. What is the status of the respondent accordingly? Thirdly, the mental stress which has been suffered by a woman employee. So, keeping all these things, the management will decide the compensation and will deduct it from the salary or from the account of accused person or respondent, and it will be paid to the affected woman employee.
Okay. Sir, according to you, what are the challenges are being faced by the IC members?
Pardon, I couldn't got you.
What are the challenges are being faced by the IC internal committee members while they are proceeding the hearings and all? I
Basically,
mean to say,
the internal
sometime it
committee.
is been observed. Yes, sir, because it has been observed that there are a lot of companies which have the IC committee, but they are just sake of compliance they have made the committee. But people, IC members, I would say they are not competent or equipped with the knowledge of law, and they are not able to process the redressal process.
For that purpose, the lady member can approach the authorities, that is, Deputy Labour Commissioner or Assistant Labour Commissioner, and can file a complaint that the internal committee appointed by the management is not competent. Then they will look into it, and in some matters, they also order them to replace the members and or to replace the presiding officer, so that there should be a proper functioning of the internal committee.
Okay. And sir, what is the penalty for non-compliance with this provision?
Non-compliance of the POSH Act is 50,000 rupees for first offence, and if the offence is repeated, the penalty is double the amount and 3 years imprisonment.
Okay. Okay. And sir, what about the maternity benefit? I mean, mainly after when these amendments had done in 2017. What was the purpose of maternity act, and is it applicable to all the organization, whether it is organized or unorganized?
Well, the Maternity Benefit Act was enacted to make sure the dignity of the pregnant woman and newborn child should not be affected. They should get honor and what you can say. I lost the.
Hello.
This act is applicable to. Hello. This act
Yeah,
is
you are
applicable
audible,
to
sir.
both organized. uh,
Okay.
This act is
Means whether
applicable to only
organization.
to organize.
Okay.
This act is applicable to only organized sector. It is not applicable to another unorganized sector. For unorganized sector, there is another act, organized unorganized employees social security act 2008. In that act, there is a provision for maternity leaves, but it has not been notified what will be the remuneration, what will be the amount. It has been yet to be notified by the government.
Okay. And sir, what is the eligibility criteria for availing the maternity leave? And what is the duration of that maternity leave
For availing,
for a working woman?
for the eligibility of maternity leave, the lady member should have worked at least for 80 days before the date of delivery in the last 12 months. If
Okay.
the lady member has not worked for 80 days and she is eligible for ESI, then she will get the benefit from ESI, not from the Maternity Act. In
So
Maternity
that
Act,
can be
there
extended,
is an
sir,
amendment
also.
now. Uh, Pardon?
This leaves, maternity leaves can be extended, sir.
It can be extended in certain circumstances. A
Okay.
woman employee can a woman
मतलब
employee
क्या सिचुएशन हो
can
सकती है
take
सर?
the देखिए for extension of maternity leave, there is a provision to extend it for 1 month more in special circumstances when the condition of the mother or the condition of the newborn is not medically fit. Under the certification of the medical practitioners, the woman can apply for extension of maternity leave, and that will be extended after considering the medical papers for 1 month.
So that payment, that leave will be paid leaves, or I mean that will be without.
It will be not paid leave. It will be unpaid leave.
Okay, unpaid leave. Okay. And sir,
Yeah.
whether maternity benefit is applicable to the contractual or consulting working women also, those who are working in a consultant firm and all.
Well, thing is, it is applicable to contractual workers, but it is not applicable to consultant women because consultant women are women who have no is not controlled by any management. They are professionals.
Okay,
They are giving
fair enough.
consultation on professional basis. They are not the employees of the organization or factory. So from whom they will claim the maternity benefit?
Okay. And sir, can employer
As in the case of
can terminate? Okay. And sir, can employer can terminate a woman after learning her
employer can,
pregnancy? Can employer terminate a woman employee after learning her pregnancy? And what are the consequences can be faced by the employer?
an employer cannot terminate the services of the woman as and when the information of her pregnancy is being delivered by the woman to the management. In case the
Okay.
management terminates or dismiss the woman during her pregnancy or maternity leave period, then there is a penal offense. There is a
Okay.
provision of penalty of rupees 20,000 and 1 month simple imprisonment.
Okay. And sir, I read somewhere that if there is a provision, if some any woman is going for test tube baby, so there is a provision for maternity leave for that case
Yeah,
also. Is it?
that's right. she is entitled for maternity leave the day the baby is handed over to her by the what do you say, Koro mother.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
This
You are audible.
uh, maternity leave is available to the woman employee who delivers a baby through test tube baby. The day she gets the custody of the child.
Okay. Okay. And sir, does an employer necessarily provide crèche to the women employees? And if so, then
It is
children
the
up to
mandatory
which age
provision.
are entitled for the crèche facility?
It is a mandatory provision to provide crèche by the management, and the children up to age of 3 years can be allowed to use the crèche facility.
Okay. Okay. And what is the maximum age limit for the children?
Maximum age limit means
Means the children, up to which age are entitled to the crèche facility? Like 3 years to.
up to the age of 3 years. Up to the age of 3 years. Up to the age of 3 years, the children are entitled for crèche facility.
Okay. Okay. Or suppose if is employer is liable to provide work from home facility after availing the maternity leave to the women employee. Hello.
On request by the woman employee that hello,
Yeah.
the management allows work from home after the lapse of maternity leave on the request of the woman employee. If she is having some special circumstances or she is having some medical problem, she can ask the management that she can work from home, and if the management thinks it's fine, then he can allow it.
Okay. And sir, if any fatality happens in, or I would say in case of death, maternity benefit will be paid.
In case of death during delivery or after delivery, the amount of maternity leave will be paid to the husband or to the legal heirs. Generally, it is
Okay.
paid to the nominee when the woman employee intimates about the pregnancy to the management. In that application, she has to give his nomination that in case something mishappened, the maternity leave benefit should be given to so and so whose name is there in the employee.
Okay. And sir, can employer initiate any disciplinary action if a woman does not resume her duty after completion of her maternity leave?
The woman employee has to give justification why she is not joining the duty after the lapse of maternity leave. If the management see that the justification is not proper or not correct, the management can order disciplinary action against the woman. The management can call the written explanation and even conduct the domestic inquiry or fact-finding inquiry to know why she is not coming. What are the circumstances which is compelling her not to join the duty?
But कुछ cases में देखा गया है sir, sometimes women are also take this leave for granted. Generally, I have seen the trend of there are so many women, they avail the maternity leave, and then after completion of their maternity leave, they generally quit from their job.
It happens generally in 50% of cases where the woman employee want to avail the maternity leave benefit. And after the availing maternity leave benefit, she quits and no employer can take any action against her. It is the sweet will of the employee whether to continue or to not.
Okay. Fair enough. Sir, now I would like you to throw some light on Equal Remuneration Act 1976.
Yeah.
So, sir,
This
what
act
about
was
the equal
enacted.
remuneration and what is the
This act
objective
was
of this act, sir?
enacted. This Birth Act was enacted to provide this social security and equal distribution of work and pay to the lady members. Equal remuneration means equal salary or equal pay for same work and within the same category of work. There should be no discrimination at the time of recruitment or at the time of doing duty or at the time of deciding salary or at the time of promotion. The management has to take all the women and men at par. This was the motive of Equal Remuneration Act.
And sir, could you also tell us what is the meaning of, you know, discrimination? Basically, suppose it's based on the nature of job, as you said, there should be no discrimination. Right, sir. But it has been observed that we
Yeah.
generally, there is a gender conscious biasness or subconscious biasness. Ki, okay, this job is not meant for women, and this job or women is not meant for this particular job. Is like that. So in that case, I mean, how this how the management can maintain the equilibrium.
For a particular job, if the or lady woman is competent enough and she is qualified to do that work, the management can't refuse. If it is the work of an
Okay.
operator and the management say no, it is the work of an operator and you are not competent enough, and if the lady members say that you see this is my degree, I have a special training in that, I can do the operation work. Then in that case, the management has to provide the duty of the operator to the lady member. The management can't refuse.
Okay. Okay. And sir, if a woman has not been treated equally, okay, and she faces any discrimination, so in that case, where she should
Yeah,
approach?
she can approach the authority. Our authority is deputy labor commissioner in the area, and for state level there is a labor commissioner. They are the authorities to listen the complaints in case of Equal Remuneration Act.
Okay. And sir, see, as per the recent survey, again, I'm coming up to the posh because this act is now talk of town, and so I would like you request you to throw some more light on that. See, sir, as per the recent survey, unfortunately, it has been noticed that unfortunately 78% of the cases of sexual harassment are not get registered, and people are not reporting to it. Now it's the employer responsibility to create an ecosystem and give confidence up to their women workforce, so that they can come forward and can speak up if they are experiencing any unwelcome behavior from any of their co-workers, irrespective of their gender or their position they have in the organization. So
It's a duty of the management.
बट जनरली ना सर देखने में क्या आता है कि इस एक्ट के बारे में जनरली एम्प्लॉयर्स आर न्यूट्रल एक्चुअली, दे आर जस्ट डूइंग फॉर सेक ऑफ कंप्लायंस ओनली, but they are not very much interested to to take this forward and educating their staff, sensitizing their people about this this act.
देखिए जनरली
So
देखा
what
ये
kind of
क्या है कि मैनेजमेंट टेक इट फॉर ग्रांटेड, मैनेजमेंट टेक इट फॉर ग्रांटेड। मैनेजमेंट को ये है कि भाई वर्कर जो है, लेडी वर्कर आपको कंप्लेंट नहीं करेगी क्योंकि उसको वहां पे नौकरी करनी है, उसको अपना घर चलाना है। बहुत ही रेयर केस के अंदर जो है वो लेडी मेंबर जो है कंप्लेंट करती है, अदरवाइज जो है वो चुप रहती है कि उसे पता है कि उसे डेली आके यहाँ काम करना है और डेली आके वो हरासमेंट से उनको फेस करती है, लेकिन वो मैनेजमेंट को कंप्लेंट नहीं करती। लेकिन इट इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट टू क्रिएट अवेयरनेस बिटवीन द वर्कर्स एंड एम्प्लॉयज कि ये आपकी ड्यूटी बनती है कि आप मैनेजमेंट को रिपोर्ट करें, आप बताएं कि आपके साथ में मिसबिहेव हो रहा है, आपके साथ में जो है अनवांटेड थिंग्स हो रही है, सो दैट द मैनेजमेंट कैन टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट दोज पर्सन। जनरली यहाँ कंप्लेंट्स आती नहीं है, इसीलिए क्योंकि डर होता है कि जी हमारा सुपरवाइजर हमें परेशान करेगा, जो हमारा को वर्कर है वो तो परेशान कर ही रहा है, वो हमें काम नहीं करने देगा, काम नहीं करूंगी तो मैनेजमेंट कहेगा जी आपने काम पूरा नहीं करा। तो ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स आर बीइंग देयर जो कि वुमेन एम्प्लॉयज को फोर्स करती हैं कि भाई वो चुप बैठे और अपना काम चुपचाप करें।
ओके सर, जनरली ये भी देखा गया है कि एक तो लेक ऑफ अवेयरनेस भी है एंड दूसरा फियर फैक्टर इज देयर, नॉट रिपोर्टिंग, कि लोग क्या कहेंगे एंड मेरा करियर खराब हो जाएगा, तो विमेन्स आर दे आर बाउंड टू कीप देयर माउथ शट ना।
करियर खराब हो जाएगा वो बात नहीं, बात ये है कि मैं आज कंप्लेंट करूंगी, कल को इंटरनल कमेटी बैठेगी, वो मेरी एविडेंस क्रिएट टेक करेगी, सबके सामने मुझे बोलना पड़ेगा उसने मुझे कैसे छेड़ा, किस तरह से करा। तो इस तरह की सारी एम्बेसमेंट के लिए बचने के लिए वो चुप बैठ जाती है। वो कहती है ठीक है मैं फेस तो कर ही रही हूँ, लेकिन मैनेजमेंट को कंप्लेंट करूंगी तो और ज्यादा बदनाम हो जाऊंगी, सारी फैक्ट्री को पता लग जाएगा। तो ऑल दीज आर थिंग्स जिसकी वजह से वो चुप बैठ जाती है।
तो ऐसी सिचुएशन में तो सर ऐसा नहीं है कि एम्प्लॉयर की और ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हो जाती है कि वो विमेन्स को एम्पावर करें, जिससे कि वो विदाउट एनी फियर, और या फिर दैट मैनेजमेंट हैज टू क्रिएट इकोसिस्टम लाइक दैट कि जहाँ पे वीमेन कैन फील फ्री, दे कैन कम एंड दे कैन स्पीक अप। तो इसमें ऐसा भी होता है कई बार कि थोड़ा सा बाइसनेस भी होती है, बिकॉज जो आईसी कमेटी होती है उसमें एक पर्सन जो है वो फ्रॉम नॉन नॉन कंपनी मेंबर, लाइक आईसी मेंबर फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, बट रेस्ट ऑफ द पीपल आर फ्रॉम द सिमिलर
यस,
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, राइट? तो उसमें भी होता
या
है कि ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल मे बी द पर्सन और ग्रीव्ड वुमेन इज नॉट कंफर्टेबल, that person should कि this set of or group of people should be involved in the her investigation process, because she think कि नहीं
देखिए
ये biased हो
जनरली
सकते हैं।
देखिए एक ये भी फियर होता है कि भैया मैं चार बंदों के सामने बैठ के अपनी बात कहूंगी, पांचवा बंदा जो है एक एनजीओ का बंदा है, आउटसाइडर है, वो बाहर जाके भी मेरी बदनामी कर सकता है, बाहर जाके बताएगा जी इसके फैक्ट्री में इस लेडी के साथ में ये हो गया, तो मैं अपने एरिया के अंदर भी मैं बदनाम हो सकती हूँ। और एट टाइम्स ये भी होता है कि जो आईसी मेंबर बैठे हुए हैं, द प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर है और द अदर मेंबर्स, दे मे बी इंटरेस्टिंग इन द रिस्पोंडेंट, कभी किसको किस तरह से प्रोटेक्ट करें, किस तरह से इसको करें। तो इस तरह के और सरकमस्टांसिस हैं जहाँ के, इसलिए वो जल्द से घबराते हैं।
ओके
इसके लिए बेस्ट
एंड
तरीका
सर,
तो ये है कि हाँ जी, हाँ जी,
जैसे कि गवर्नमेंट है तो गवर्नमेंट को क्या आई मीन स्टेप्स लेने चाहिए टुवर्ड्स द पब्लिसिटी ऑफ दिस एक्ट?
देखिए,
मतलब आप
फॉर द
क्या मेजर
पब्लिसिटी ऑफ
सजेस्ट
एक्ट,
करते हैं?
देखिए गवर्नमेंट को सबसे पहला तो, पार्डन,
नहीं सर, यू प्लीज कंटिन्यू। हेलो।
देखिए गवर्नमेंट तो ये है कि दे हैव गिवन क्लियर इंस्ट्रक्शंस। हेलो, हेलो,
यस सर, यू आर ऑडिबल। या प्लीज गो अहेड।
हेलो।
हेलो। यस सर, यू आर
So
ऑडिबल।
government has made a clear, government has given, government has made a clear provision in the enactment that the aspect of the POSH Act should be displayed in each and every factory where in Hindi as well as in English, so that the employee can read it and know, okay, what are their rights. Besides that, the company should organize some symposium or seminars taking all the women employees together, highlighting them, these are your rights, and this is the way. If you are facing any problem, you come to us, we will help you. This is your committee. The committee will look into your complaint, then we will take action as per the recommendation of the committee. Besides that, there are NGOs who are working on this. They are organizing seminars, or you can say nukkad natak sort of things in the एम्प्लॉयज तो कहते हैं जो एम्प्लॉयज की बस्ती वगैरह होती है वहां जाके वो नुक्कड़ नाटक वगैरह करते हैं, समझाते हैं. तो गवर्नमेंट हैज टेकन इनफ स्टेप्स, बट इट इज नाउ अप टू द मैनेजमेंट how to enlighten them and how to teach them that there are their rights.
Okay. Sir, we are receiving a lot of questions from our chat box also. So someone has asked that there are three elements of this POSH Act: prevention, prohibition, and redressal. So, sir,
Okay.
if I ask you
Yeah.
to just give a flow of that all three elements, so that we can cover all the measures are being taken for the prevention, prohibition, and the redressal. So for redressal, what your recommendation would be for the organization?
For redressal, the POSH Act has given the provision of ICC, LCC, and they are working. It is the
So
duty
how?
of ICC or LCC to look into the grievances of the complainant and.
नहीं, जैसे मैंने
Pardon?
पहले भी पूछा, जैसे मैंने पहले भी आपसे पूछा था कि प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है कि जो आईसी कमिटी मेंबर्स हैं, है ना, जो आईसी मेंबर्स हैं, उनमें भी जनरली all are the people from the similar organization and employee sort of, but they are not equipped with the proper knowledge of law, its its implication, and they don't know the sensitivity of this law, and they are not even competent enough to initiate the investigation and complete the proper reporting and everything. So don't you think so that organization has to take some measures to train them also?
For the members of the ICC, the POSH Act has given their qualifications also. First, there is a presiding officer. Presiding officer is a senior most executive lady of the organization. A senior most lady of the organization is presumed to be that she is aware of all the provisions of the POSH Act. Secondly, there are members, two members from the women employees who are aware of the legal laws. So the members who are aware of legal laws definitely know what are the rights and duties of the ICCI and how to give redressal to the complainant. fourth and fifth are the persons. One is a non-NGO member who is looking after or who is dealing with the same type of matters or women helpline thing sort of thing, and looking after the complaints of the women in her organization. And third is a person from scheduled caste or scheduled tribe or from any other OBC, so that the person who is filing a complaint is, if happens to be a scheduled caste or SC or OBC, should not face that the सामने जो बैठे हैं सारे मेरे जो हैं ऊपर कास्ट वाले हैं, but there is one representation for her also. So she has to be confident enough that the persons who are looking into the complaints are qualified and they will do justice. In case she is not satisfied with the findings, she can file an appeal. She can approach the authorities. Because yes, I have filed this complaint, but I am not satisfied with the finding. So you reinvestigate the matter. The authorities will again investigate and they will come to the conclusion.
Okay. And sir, a part of that, sometime it happens uh, generally there is a peer pressure also, and generally people don't even in अगर हम women की बात करें, even they don't support each other. Suppose if any women face any this sexual harassment incident, even her peer group females will not support her. They will not they generally don't come forward to be a witness to that incident.
Well, now it is up to her to prove the incident before the internal committee or into the authorities. Without any witness or evidence, nobody can take the final outcome of the matter. The internal committee, though has power of civil court, can summon the witness and can direct for the production of the documents. But if suppose no witness is coming forward to assist the complainant, then the internal committee is helpless. It is now for the complainant to prove her case. How she proves this is depend on her. In the absence of any third party witness, it is very difficult for her to prove the incident. And naturally, no male member will come forward when no female member is coming forward.
Okay. And sir, see, one more question I got from chat box only. I mean, see, suppose situation is like that, neither his employer is responding, nor the IC committee, or nor the LC. In that case, can the complaint can be lodged in court directly by the women?
In case the management is not responding, IC is not cooperating, LC is not cooperating, then the only alternative is to approach the Deputy Labour Commissioner office. That is the authority. If the authority comes to the conclusion, they can decision of the case against. They can also take action against the management and ICC. Okay, why you have not done your duty when the complaint was filed before you? Why you have not acted upon it? They can impose fine, they can impose imprisonment, etc.
Or sir, suppose if IC or LC come to arrive at conclusion that the witness has given the false evidence, So in that case, what is the
Okay.
right IC or LC have?
In case the ICC or LCC come to the conclusion that the witness has given false evidence, then they have to recommend it to the employer that she has given false evidence and take action as per the service rules. If there is no service rules and the management say that they are not competent to take any action against the irritating lady, then they can recommend it the matter to the police for giving false evidence and register a case against her.
Yeah.
Because giving a false evidence in the court, basically ICC or LCC are working as a fact-finding inquiry. They are acting as a quasi-judicial court. They have power of civil court, so they can direct prosecution for giving false evidence before them.
Okay. Sir, for this act, there is a perception is that this pause is been biased when it comes to men. This act, this only talk about the women. So only women can approach IC, or can, irrespective of gender, can also approach the IC if they have witnessed or they have experienced some unwelcome behavior or something like that. So is there a provision for other genders also?
Basically, basically, POSH Act is only for the women employees. There is no provision or there is no mention of any gender bias in the act. And it is a very rarest of rare case a complaint that will be filed by a man employee against a female employee before the ICC.
Yeah. So, sir, do you think that it's a just matter of spreading awareness among the employees, and I think a regular awareness session on diversity and inclusion can also play a vital role to change the mindset of people and bring the cultural change in the organization. आपका क्या व्यू है सर
You
इसमें?
are correct. But देखिए इसके अंदर आपको ये है until and unless the management is ready to take the action and he is getting a proper response from the employees, the management can take action. When the management is not getting any response or cooperation from the employees, then it is very difficult to implement the provisions of the act.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for being here and inspiring all our viewers by sharing very insightful informations. And I'm sure our women employees are definitely going to get benefited out of this entire conversation we had today. And I would like to thank Shefali Singhal, President Wiki UPHR, and Ms. Harbin Arora, founder and chairperson of All Ladies League and Wiki, to provide this prestigious platform to empowering the women by adding wings to them. On behalf of Wiki, I also would like to thank our Ministry of Labor and Employment Department for their wonderful initiative towards women empowerment. My sincere thanks to our entire back end team for their efforts and dedication. And I would like to thank all the viewers for being here. This would not be possible without you. So keep watching and stay tuned for our next session, which we are going to bring awareness session on the wage codes recently has been come. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm also thankful to you and to all the members of the FICCI to provide me such a good platform to keep my views so that they can help the women employees. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.